Almost everything you've been told about burning belly fat is either incomplete, outdated, or just wrong. And the frustrating part? The harder you follow that bad advice, the slower your results get. They start doing more cardio, more jogging, more treadmill time, more random sweat. And when their waist barely changes, they assume they need even more. But that is not usually the problem. The real problem is that they are treating belly fat like it has its own private off switch. It does not. You cannot reliably spot reduce belly fat with crunches, ab circuits, or lower stomach workouts. A 2022 systematic review and meta-analysis found no meaningful spot reduction effect from localized muscle training. Now, that does not mean cardio is useless. It is not. In fact, aerobic training, interval training, and high-intensity work can be very effective for reducing abdominal and visceral fat. A 2024 network meta-analysis of 84 randomized trials found that aerobic exercise, resistance training, combined training, and HIIT all improved visceral fat, with vigorous aerobic exercise and HIIT ranking highest overall. An umbrella review in 2024 also found interval training produced slightly greater reductions in body fat percentage than moderate continuous cardio in apparently healthy adults. So this video is not cardio is bad. It is this. If your current plan is just steady-state cardio and you are ignoring hard, full-body resistance work, you are leaving results on the table. Because the best fat loss exercises do more than burn calories during the workout. They also challenge a lot of muscle mass, push your heart rate up, create a strong training effect, and help preserve lean tissue while you lose weight. Resistance training on its own has been shown to reduce body fat percentage, fat mass, and visceral fat. And it is also one of the best tools for preserving lean mass during weight loss. That means the smartest approach is not endless cardio. It is combining hard, high-output movements with nutrition that actually supports fat loss. And that is exactly what these 5 exercises do. So today, I am going to show you 5 exercises that can beat cardio. Only routines for belly fat results, especially if your cardio right now is just mindless treadmill work with no progression. Let's get into it. Before we jump into the list, one quick thing you need to understand. These exercises do not directly melt belly fat off your stomach. What they do is better. They help drive overall fat loss, improve conditioning, and preserve or build muscle while you are in a calorie deficit. That matters because muscle loss during weight loss is one of the things that makes people look smaller, weaker, flatter, and more likely to regain weight later. A CSM-reviewed work has noted that preserving fat-free mass during weight loss matters, and resistance training helps with that. So if your goal is a leaner waist, flatter stomach, and better-looking body composition overall, these are the kind of exercises you want more of. Exercise 1. Kettlebell swings. If there is one exercise that sits right between strength training and conditioning, it is the kettlebell swing. Swings train the glutes, hamstrings, core, upper back, and grip, all while pushing your heart rate up fast. They are explosive, repeatable, and brutally efficient when done correctly. Research on kettlebell swings shows they create a metabolic challenge high enough to improve aerobic fitness. And another study found they can produce a serious conditioning effect even when compared with treadmill running. Why does that matter for belly fat? Because swings let you train a lot of muscle mass in a short period of time. And the more muscle you involve, the more total demand you create. That is exactly what you want when fat loss is the goal. How to do it right? Set the kettlebell about a foot in front of you, hinge at the hips, grab the bell, hike it back hard, then snap your hips forward and let the bell float to about chest height. Your arms are not lifting the bell, your hips are launching it. Common mistake, turning the swing into a squat and front raise. If you are lifting with your shoulders, you are doing it wrong. This is a hip hinge, not a shoulder exercise. Why it beats cardio only for many people? Because it gives you conditioning and posterior chain training at the same time. That is a much better trade than mindlessly jogging for 30 minutes with no overload. Exercise 2. Burpees. This is one of the most brutally effective fat loss exercises you can do with just your body weight. A burpee combines a squat, a plank, a push, and an explosive jump into one movement, which means one rep challenges your legs, chest, shoulders, core, and lungs all at once. That is exactly why burpees drive your heart rate up so fast. And when an exercise uses a lot of muscle mass while forcing you to move explosively, it creates the kind of full body demand that makes cardio-only routines look incomplete. How to do it right? Stand tall, drop down and place your hands on the floor, jump your feet back into a plank position, perform the push-up if you are using the full version, jump your feet back in, then explode up into a jump. Common mistake, rushing through ugly reps with zero control. People often turn burpees into a messy collapse to the floor and a weak little hop at the top. If you are doing them, do them with intent. Why they work so well? Because they give you conditioning, full body muscular demand, and progression all in one exercise. You can add reps, tighten rest periods, increase rounds, or improve your pace while keeping form clean. That makes them far more productive than random treadmill sessions with no real intensity. Exercise 3. Walking lunges. Walking lunges do not look flashy, but they are one of the best exercises for turning your legs into a calorie-burning machine. Every rep forces your quads, glutes, hamstrings, calves, and core to stabilize and produce force. And because lunges are unilateral, they are often much more demanding than people expect. They also create a lot of local muscular fatigue, which means your heart rate climbs fast, especially when you perform them for distance or high-rep sets. This matters because your lower body contains a huge amount of total muscle mass, and exercises that force a lot of lower body work tend to be expensive, metabolically speaking. Multi-joint training is especially useful here because it trains more tissue at once than isolation work. How to do them right. Stand tall with dumbbells at your sides, or body weight if you're new. Step forward into a long enough stride that your front foot stays planted and your back knee drops under control. Push through the front foot, bring the back leg through, repeat on the other side. Common mistake. Taking tiny steps and bouncing through reps. That turns a good lower body movement into sloppy cardio. Control the descent. Own the position, then drive up with intent. Why walking lunges beat cardio-only routines? Because they do something steady-state cardio often fails to do. They force your legs to work hard under load, which helps preserve muscle while still giving you a serious conditioning effect. Exercise 4. Sled pushes. If your gym has a sled, use it. Sled pushes are one of the cleanest high-output exercises you can do for fat loss. They hammer the quads, glutes, calves, and core. They spike your breathing. They are easy to scale. And unlike some high-intensity exercises, they usually create less eccentric soreness than things like sprints or jump-heavy circuits. That means many people can recover from them better and perform them more consistently. Why are sled pushes so effective? Because they are simple. You load the sled, lean forward, brace hard, and drive. No complicated skill, no wasted motion, just force production and conditioning. And when you are trying to lose fat, consistency matters more than novelty. How to do them right. Grab the handles, lean forward slightly, keep your ribs down and core braced. Drive through the floor with short, powerful steps. Do not let your hips bounce all over the place. Common mistake, standing too upright and taking lazy steps. That turns a brutal full body effort into a weak walk. Why sled pushes beat regular cardio for many people? Because they create a very high training density in a short period of time, and they are easy to progress by adding load, distance, or rounds. That is a lot more productive than doing the same easy treadmill pace forever. Exercise 5. Barbell squat. This is one of the best exercises you can build an entire fat loss training plan around. Barbell squats train the quads, glutes, hamstrings, core, and upper back all at once. They force a huge amount of total muscle mass to work together, which is one of the reasons they are so effective for body composition. And because the squat can be loaded progressively over time, it gives you a clear path to getting stronger while dieting, which is a huge advantage when your goal is to lose fat without looking smaller, weaker, and flatter. How to do it right. Set the bar securely across your upper back. Brace your core, keep your chest stable. Sit down and back under control. Drive through the floor and stand up hard. Common mistake, turning every rep into a rushed half squat with no depth, no control, and no tension. The goal is not just to move the bar. The goal is to make your legs and trunk do real work through a strong range of motion. Why this movement is special? Because it builds strength, preserves muscle, and creates a massive training demand across the whole body. That is a powerful combination for fat loss. And unlike endless A/B circuits, squats actually train the kind of total body output that helps reshape your physique. How to use these for real belly fat results? You do not need to do all 5 every day, and you definitely do not need to stop cardio completely. Remember, cardio still works. What you want is a smarter mix. Here's a simple structure. Train 3 days per week. Pick 3 exercises per session. Do them in circuits or intervals. For example, Day 1. Kettlebell swings. Walking lunges. Barbell squats. Day 2. Burpees. Sled pushes. Kettlebell swings. Day 3. Walking lunges. Barbell squats. Sled pushes. Keep work periods hard. Keep rest controlled. And try to improve one thing over time: reps, load, distance, or total rounds. If your only strategy for belly fat is more cardio, you are not necessarily wrong. You are just incomplete. Because the best fat loss plan is not built on calorie burn alone. It is built on total body demand, muscle retention, conditioning, and consistency. That is why these 5 exercises work so well. They ask more from the body. And when your body has to do more work with more muscle, under more control, better things usually happen. So if you want a flatter waist, a stronger body, and a plan that does more than just make you sweaty, start here. Use these exercises, progress them, pair them with a calorie-controlled diet. If this helped you, like the video. Subscribe for more science-based fitness content. Also, share this with someone who still thinks 500 crunches a day is the answer to belly fat.